Ball presented, lost forward, and that will be that. Ireland have come to Twickenham and done a number on England.
Ireland's best performance for a long time. That collision there sums it up for me. England throwing everything, Ireland not taking a backward step. You can see the smiles on the faces. Bernard mentioned it earlier, you've got to take your hat off to Andy Farrell. I'd say that Ireland camp was an uncomfortable place to be. I mean, they were blown away by France, didn't really perform against Italy. You're coming here to Twickenham in very difficult circumstances, in a scenario where we all felt there'd be a backlash from England after what happened in Murrayfield. But Ireland were dominant in every single phase of the play. Their attack, I think, was better than I've seen at any stage over the last 18 months. Defence supreme, and they deserve all the plaudits that will come their way after this.
Yeah, and it's going into a down week now. They can go into their little rest period very, very comfortable and confident in what they put in here. This is the best performance since Marseille, I think, that first game in the Six Nations after the World Cup. And we can build on this now. Obviously, we've got a Triple Crown in our hands if we can go and repeat this, and maybe hope that France slip up and we're still in the hunt on the last day. But on its own, this is a huge statement win for this Irish squad.
It's never over till it's over, but Ireland have blown England away at Twickenham. Hugely impressive, led by captain Caelan Doris. Tommy O'Brien off the bench. 5 tries in total, and England simply with no answer. Full-time score at Twickenham, England 21, Ireland 42. Jackie, all yours.
Hugh, Bernard, Donal, thank you. A statement is absolutely right, Stephen. It feels like a lot more than that by this Irish team.
Yeah, it certainly was. Just to a man, you know, sometimes you need your big game players to step up, but it was all 23 players stepped up today. And England went into their shells. They couldn't get any momentum in the game, but it's all down to Ireland, the pressure they put on them in defence, the dominant tackles, winning the collisions. And as Bernard rightly said in commentary there, it's the best Irish performance I've seen in such a long time.
Where did it come from, Simon? Because on evidence, it didn't feel like it was there the last few weeks.
Yeah, it hasn't been, and they've been trudging along, but, you know, big occasions, pressure on, you know, away from home as well, against the old enemy. You'd expect the best of your players, and Andy Farrell did a brilliant job this week because he had them fired up. And on the flip side, you look at England, and that was just nowhere near test level, but Ireland put them in that position and made them look that way. So huge credit to those lads, but it shows that they have it in the tank. This team has the quality to go and put in these mega performances, and that is right up there with the best we've seen from Ireland in a long time.
I think the character of them has probably been questioned in the last few weeks in the way that it hasn't in the past, Jamie, and it's funny that it is those leaders that stepped up. Gibson-Park, brilliant performance. Josh van der Fleer, Ty Byrne, the players that people were talking about had a Lions hangover. They're the ones who led Ireland today.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting the players' ratings tomorrow, because I think across the board, I think the lowest is going to be a 7 or an 8. You know what I mean? Everyone was, you know, up there. They played their best or close to their best type of rugby. Fez talked about it beforehand in terms of guys grabbing the opportunity and taking responsibility. We talked about, like, that interview with Faz in terms of, like, there was tension, and you were right that he's probably going to get them in the right headspace. And they all delivered across the board. They were accurate, they were really efficient with the ball, but they were brave. They were brave from the get-go.
When you referenced that Andy Farrell interview beforehand, you know, you said you felt that there was a tension in the air, and sometimes that can go one of two ways for a coach. Yeah. But he has actually, it's been a masterclass from him this week. Having been,
you know, in the team environment with him as a coach, he's great at getting you in the right space, and he got them there today.
Yeah, he certainly did. Andy Farrell has given a masterclass, and so too has our man of the match today, Jamison Gibson-Park, 34 years of age, an absolutely spectacular performance. Let's hear from him now.
Well, Jamison, congratulations on a record win here at the Allianz. Was that the island that maybe some people doubted wasn't there, but you guys knew it was always there?
Yeah, look, potentially. Sorry, can I just start off by saying I want to congratulate Maro on 100 tests. It's a pretty phenomenal feat, and he's a great bloke and a great player, and, you know, I had the privilege of sharing the summer with him, and he's an unbelievable leader and player and person, so I just want to congratulate him first. But yeah, to your point, I think so, you know. We're probably challenged a bit after, you know, our first outing against France, and not something we're overly proud of, so yeah, I suppose we saw a bit of that today.
What were the keys to the performance? We saw a lot on both sides of the ball, but you're out there. What were you feeling through the match?
Like you touched on, I think the Ireland of old, you know, we're brave and we love to put the ball in space and let our guys on the edge do special things, I suppose. So I don't know that we've gone away from that a little bit, but I think that was probably one of the keys today for sure.
And for you personally, of course, you didn't start last weekend, but to come back in and play the way you did, to respond to some criticism sometimes, it's the best feeling.
100%, man. And look, I count myself very lucky to be part of this team, and it was unbelievable to be out there today with the lads.
Well, you can hear the applause from the crowd. I mean, to come away from home, like you say, the way you built through the Six Nations, you must be hugely impressed with the way that your teammates performed this afternoon. 100%,
man. And like you say, it's probably a performance we can be proud of. And, you know, it's unbelievably difficult to come to Twickenham and do that. So, yeah, we're pretty happy, man, and we'll share a few beers tonight and celebrate a little bit.
Well, Jamison, congratulations. You are the Guinness Men's Six Nations Player of the Match.
Thank you, Topsy. Appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, brilliant performance by him and the Irish team. And after all of that, look what a difference a week makes. They start the day in 5th and now they're up to 2nd place. And suddenly Ireland might feel like they're back in the shout of a championship. Maybe if France can slip up and let the door back open. But right now, Ireland reflecting on an absolutely brilliant performance here in Twickenham. And just a really classy gesture there, listening to him, Simon, there. The first thing out of his mouth is he's talking about somebody else, Maro Itoje, in a 100 cap, but like, taking away from his own performance. Like, this is his day all over, isn't it?
Big time, yeah. He's a humble guy, and, you know, he doesn't want to make it all about himself, but he was unbelievable today. He was absolutely everywhere, and he led the team in terms of that intent and that, you know, the quick taps, that mindset of we're going out to attack these guys, and everybody else followed suit, and it was top drawer across the board. And yeah, he should be very, very proud of himself.
He used an expression there, Stevie, the Ireland of old. It was interesting to hear him referencing that as well, because he has to know that that's exactly where that came from.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I was with Brian O'Driscoll there about 10 days ago, and he was talking about how negative it felt like Ireland had become with ball in hand, and they completely flipped that on its head today. And just listening to some of the Irish fans in the crowd while the English fans were walking out with 15 minutes to go, and they're like, we're in transition, and we scored 40 odd points. So if that's it, transition, I think at the minute for Ireland is getting some players game time that haven't had the exposure at this level, and to come away from home against a good English side and put in a dominant performance like that, it really feels like Ireland have turned a corner. That this negative trend that we've been talking about for a couple of months since the autumn, really, when that South Africa defeat, it feels like that's changed now, and the narrative getting into the next couple of weeks is going to be so much more positive. But they have to back it up now. You know, they've got to take a week off, and when they come against Wales, they've got to go full leather again and hopefully put in another really dominant display.
I think that's a fair point, Jamie, because nobody's going to say they've turned a corner if they don't actually back it up.
100%. This is one game. They played really, really well. The trend, you know, for the last 12 months hasn't been great, but like today's the day, right? They've blown them off the park. Everything was the movement, the passing, the defence. We've been really, really leaky in defence, and we shut down everything. Like England, we made them mess up, 3, 4, 5 try-scoring opportunities. It was really, really solid and epitomised by Stuart McCluskey and with his effort in chasing down Smith.
Yeah, I think just a word on him as well. What a brilliant day for him.
Yeah, like with my Ulster cap on, I might have given man of the match. Like Gibson-Park come off in 71 minutes, but with Stuart McCluskey, he wouldn't say that he has out-and-out gas, but he's got an incredible engine. He just keeps going and going and going, and he's done it for so long. And he's here with his wife Hannah in the crowd, and I think he deserves a lot of plaudits. I mentioned previously about the dominant collisions that he's made so far in the Six Nations, and they weren't that high, but today he got off the line, he caused Ollie Lawrence trouble, and you must say, Zeebs, the two centres for England were non-existent compared to the Irish lads.
Yeah, they were miles off it. You know, they were coming up in drips and drabs. There was no line speed. They weren't punching onto the ball, and we made them look that way. There was a physicality and intent about our centres, and we completely outplayed them.
Yeah, so many facets in the pitch. Ireland completely outplayed that. And one man who led from the off, he's the Ireland captain, Caelan Doris. We can hear from him now.
Caelan, you came here as underdogs. You leave with a bonus point after an utterly dominant performance over England.
Yeah, it's a special feeling. We could see and feel the Irish from the very start, from the anthems. Felt like there was more of them than English here today, and they carried us through. I've been saying to you that there's been belief at the core of what we've been doing, and we've seen some of that in training, and it hasn't fully come to fruition in games, but we saw more of that today. Definitely a pleasing performance. It feels it gets us back on track a little bit, but 2 big games still to come, obviously.
Because it has been a difficult few weeks, hasn't it? Talk of a decline, talk of a slump, talk of players not standing up.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a lot of that has been external. Internal, there's been a pretty good feeling in camp. There's been an awareness that there's growth needed, but also an awareness that there's a lot of belief at the core of what we're doing, and yeah, some of that showed today.
Did you see this coming? I know that Andy has called for intent and fight. You certainly did bring that right from the off.
Yeah, like I say, with so many Irish fans here today, we could feel them, and I think that brought a bit of ferocity into the collisions, into everything we did. Obviously not everything was perfect, but I think in game we were able to get back on track pretty quickly and play in the right areas and convert into points.
What will this mean now? Because it's a tough place to come. Wins here are still rare. It's a special and a sweet day.
Yeah, definitely. We'll enjoy it. We'll enjoy it tonight. We're obviously into a fallow week, so we'll get some good training in ahead of Wales. But I spoke about Paris being a reference point from where we need to see a pretty steep incline in terms of performances, and hopefully this will be a reference point that we look back on as another game that's built more belief for the squad.
Close out the championship at home, and you're still in the mix. There's prizes on the line now.
Yeah, it's definitely one game at a time, but this is a nice springboard to go on and build to another good performance.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Cheers.
Yeah, you used the word belief a lot there, Jamie, and sometimes if you think back to that Ireland team of 2020 when there was all those external questions and then suddenly they pulled out a performance against England again that time, and it was the springboard that Caelan talks about. Can today do that for this team?
100%, because you're going up against English side who've been pretty dominant over the last kind of 12 months against some top opposition. Well, we've kind of come up short against the top opposition over the last 12 months or so. But this is a massive thing for them in terms of their mindset, the confidence, the belief that they talked about. They can go into that week off, a couple of days off now, decompress from the pressure, and then build nicely into a really good opportunity for them for a triple crown and be in the hunt for the last round. That's where we want to be.
It's some opportunity for everybody here. The fans over here are giving you loads, Zebo, as well. You're obviously loving it. Everybody just feels like they're in a completely different form than they were.
They want the Zebo sign there, Zeebs. Go on.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is, yeah.
But they're all enjoying it, though, for the right reasons.
They are, absolutely. It's an unbelievable day out, Come to Twickenham, it's few and far between. You put up a cricket score like that. And I do say it was nearly a cricket score because that England team do have a lot of pride about them, but they were just second best across the whole board today, and it's great to see. It's great to see so many Irish in the stands, and the atmosphere was electric for us. Yeah.
Feels a little surreal, though, Stevie, doesn't it?
It does. I walked over at full time and said to you, Jackie, it feels like a bit of a dream. Because before the game, nobody expected a performance like that, and nobody expected England to be as poor as that. And Simon said before the match, we're going to get the best England. And I think everybody was shocked that we didn't get the best England, but you play what's in front of you, and Ireland were exceptional today.
Yeah, maybe we didn't get the best England, but maybe we might have just seen the best of Ireland, certainly for the last couple of years.